All right, when Sunday night rolls around next week and the Cowboys go to L.A. to play the Rams, we will find out what happens during the national anthem. Jerry Jones, the owner of the team, has not said anything over the last week and a half about this effort to fashion a compromise. He's been on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas twice since last Tuesday when he talked about a compromise. It would entail players standing for the anthem and protesting in some other context. Dak Prescott, the Cowboys quarterback, making $31.4 million this year as a franchise player, he addressed the anthem yesterday. Let's listen carefully to how Dak Prescott tiptoes through this minefield.
I think if anything, you'll just see guys expressing themselves, and then more so from that, you're going to see people supporting one another and loving one another. Then we'll all be working toward a common goal, which in the game of football is winning, but in life, I think it's love and equality. I can't say that there's been one direct answer or one direct way that we're going to go about it, but I sure hope so. That's what this country is about, the freedom to do that, the freedom to express yourself. And as we've heard Mr. Jones talk about grace and sharing grace and having grace with players and what they want to do. So if I had it my way, that's exactly what we'd do, is express ourselves individually, but love and support one another collectively.
I really don't know what that means. When I saw the words in writing, I thought one thing. When I hear him deliver it, I think another. When I saw it in writing, right? I hear that he's hoping that they all do one thing together for the anthem, but have other ways to individually express themselves. Is that how you're interpreting it?
I heard that. I thought he was more or less saying, hey, if guys want to kneel, just let them kneel, and let's be supportive and show love for each other because it's their right, and then we'll all come together with grace after that. That's kind of the way I took it there at the end. Maybe I'm crazy. I mean, I know I am a little.
I know, but there's just something there that it was the last part of it. There was the way he said it that made me think, and I'm influenced by the background here because for the last 3 years, Dak has been at the forefront of saying we're going to do what we do as a team.
Yeah.
And that there are certain things we do as a team. There are certain things we do as individuals. What we do during the anthem is one of the things we do as a team. So I'm being influenced by that background.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not clear. He's not coming out clearly, and this is a situation that does not call for nuance. Either you are behind the idea of players expressing themselves by protesting during the anthem, or you aren't. You cannot stake out a middle ground here. And I think that's what Dak was trying to do, trying to find a way to thread the needle. Not in the same way that Jerry Jones did. He's trying to thread the needle in a way that
he's trying to make Jerry Jones feel good too. Yeah, he's worried about, man, the Joneses are listening to this. I don't want to sound like a jerk, but that quote we have on the bottom of the screen right now to me is where I went, ooh, what? I hope we can express ourselves individually because, like you said, the Cowboys have been all about team. We're going to do it as a team. We're going to do it as a team. And I think that's the first time, a guy like Dak Prescott to kind of come out and say that, to hint at that. That to me tells me he's trying to just send a nice, gentle message to the Jones family where, like, if guys want to kneel, let them kneel. And we're going to show that we all love each other as soon as that's done, and that'll show grace. That's the way I kind of took it.
And again, the kneeling, I think, is going to potentially go by the wayside because one of the questions is, will there be boycotts or wildcat strikes? And we talked yesterday about how Troy Vincent, the executive VP of football operations, essentially said they have the right to sit out if they want to over social justice issues, which could be a huge deal. And Chris, I personally think, and I want to underscore this, because we've talked about the messages that are going to be on the field. We've talked about the names on the bumper at the back of the helmet. We may have the graphic. We had it the other day when Peter King was on. Whether it's George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, whoever it is whose name is there, once that is out there for people to see in the tens of millions, there is going to be, I believe, a tremendous backlash. There it is. That's what it's going to look like. Once we start playing games and the casual fans tune in next Thursday night or all day Sunday, Sunday night, Monday night, whenever, and they see in the close-ups these names,
no doubt,
you are going to hear it over and over again. Where are the names of the police officers killed in the line of duty? Where is David Dorn? Where is this person? We know what the triggers are. We know what the words are. We know what the phrases are. And the NFL bracing for tweets from the president based upon whether or not people kneel.
Yeah.
They need to be bracing for tweets from the president on this issue.
Definitely.
Why are we honoring these people and not police officers who gave their lives in the line of duty?
I mean, what he does is divide, so he's going to send out many tweets
they
that
need
divide.
Regardless of the merits,
you're right.
They need to be ready for it.
You're right. Well, it's happening. I mean, listen, I could tell you there's already a guinea pig out there. I mean, it's called the NBA. I mean, I don't know. I mean, how many people have I come across over the last 3 weeks of, I can't watch the NBA anymore. They're them and their Black Lives Matter crap. Like, get the hell out of here. What are you talking about? Of course they're going to stick up for Black Lives Matter. There's issues in our country, but you're right. They're going to have to get worried about it. It's going to turn some people off for sure.
The other night, Game 7 between, help me out here, the Nuggets and who?
The Jazz? Yeah, the Jazz.
Okay, the Jazz, the New Orleans Jazz.
Right.
I mean, the Utah Jazz. There was a rating of 3.3 million that watched that game. So you take what the NBA, and that's a good number in comparison to the past. First of all, the numbers aren't dropping for the NBA, even though some are suggesting that no one's watching. The people who are saying, I'm not going to watch the NBA, weren't watching.
They weren't watching anyways. You're right.
So you take the 3.3 million and you multiply it by 8, right?
Yeah.
And that's the crowd that's going to tune in Sunday night next week when the Cowboys and the Rams get together.
Right.
So it's greater exposure, and greater exposure is going to result in greater controversy, and it's going to be more attention. It's going to be more focus. And my point is this. We're caught up in how people are going to react to who stands and who doesn't stand during the anthem. Get ready. Whatever side of this you're on, whoever you are in the league, whatever job you have, you better have a plan. If you're in any sort of PR with teams and leagues, you better be ready to do something because it is going to hit the fan. And I say that as objectively as I can. We support these efforts. We think it's appropriate. We think it's proper. But we know from fending off the folks who disagree every day, all day long, on Twitter, in the comments at ProFootballTalk.com, we know what's coming, Chris. And I just want to make sure everybody else out there who's paying attention has a little part of their brain set aside for this storm that's going to begin once everybody sees those helmets during games and begins to react to it.
No, there's going to be a storm, just like there was in 2016 and some of that too. Yeah, we're going to have to deal with it. It's going to be part of the sports conversation this year. The one thing that's different, though, is I don't think the NFL cares this year. They're going to support, people of color, social injustice, and their players, more importantly. And that's where I want to tell that crowd that wants to, rebuttal against some of this stuff and all that, tough then. You won't be watching football. I don't know what else to say.
And let me just say this, and then we got to take a break. If that's the case, then let's not run and hide when the bully comes around and starts poking us in the chest. Let's stand up to him, NFL. Let's see if they do that this time around. All right.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.